I feel superhuman. I can hold up the sun.
And I'm a medical doctor and practice integrated functional medicine. And our love is always, addressing the root cause physically and emotionally. And with the 7-step, we sincerely felt it was one of the most powerful seminars we've ever taken, and are recommending it highly to everyone.
This last weekend, I was really, really, really mad at my brother. He's really sick. And I knew, because I was so angry, that I had to do something about it now. So I cleared it. And as soon as I cleared it, like the next day when I talked to him, it was gone, the anger.
Obviously, you saw me clear my parents' divorce.
Yes, we all remember that, right?
Yeah, that was huge for me. I woke up in the morning and I was like, checked in, and I was like, what the F? And I was like, you know what I mean? Like, I have a feeling this was going to work, or I wouldn't even signed up for this a while back ago.
Yeah.
But I still have resistance because it's like out of my area, and I have all these excuses, right? And so I just, and everyone's like, there's no such thing as permanently believing anything, right? And I'm not believing them because I want to try with an open mind, right? Because that's who I am.
Smart.
And so I've just come with this open mind, and I like trying new things. And I've tried, like I said, I've tried all kinds of things, and nothing has ever worked like this has worked. Like, I woke up and I was like, oh my God, it's gone. And I felt like literally a new person when I woke up.
6 years ago, I believe. First time taking 7 steps, first time taking Arnoux courses. I was a total mess everywhere, and I've noticed there's so much changes within me. And then it's amazing to see the growth within yourself, and then also to hear other people telling you about the growth that they see in me.
We would do the 7-step, and then almost immediately would get a text or an email or a phone call from that person. And that was happening consistently. And then the entire dynamic of what was happening changed. And then outlook changed, how we viewed what happened changed. And then, it's been incredible. And with our business as well, the new clients that we're getting, patients, has been incredible, who really resonate with what we do, get it. And we've been then using the 7-step. Both my brother is a biofeedback specialist, and so he's been using it with his clients, and I've been using it with my clients as well. For me, with my clients, it's been instantaneous.
Thank you so much for giving our life back. About 5 years ago, it came to light that my daughter had been sexually abused and molested by a best friend of my ex-husband. For years, that lived under my roof, and I had no idea. And I'm supposed to be the intuitive one, and I had a lot of stuff, and she did too. And she spent years just not being able to get out of bed, and I never understood why. And so we've been searching and searching for an answer. And the anger and the frustration and lots of stuff. And then we found Merit it's only been a couple of months, and 3 months. And the transformation that has happened for her has been amazing. That she's been helping people throughout the weekend. She couldn't even look at people. And she's out there wanting to make a difference in the world.
Your daughter.
And my daughter.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is literally a transformation that was a miracle and a godsend. And so I do thank you, and I know that it's going to continue, and new doors are opening already.
And I've been taking Arnoux courses since 2012, and I could tell you lots of things I cleared. And I'm standing here going, which one do I share? Because there are many, and I do thank you for changing my life in so many ways. One of the ones that I cleared was I didn't talk to my brother for 8 years, and him and I used to be like this. We talked every day. I came to class and I cleared everything with him, and 3 months later he called me, and we've been like this for the last 6 years. So it's amazing that I got my relationship back with my brother, which changed my life because
I struggled with suicidal depression for most of my childhood and teenage years and pretty much all of my adulthood, but to the point where I've been institutionalized. I can't buy a firearm in the state of California. I've had my brain shocked with electrotherapy. I've been on every drug and medication there is, and none of it really works. But the consistency of it, I use the 7 steps like at least 30 minutes, probably every single day for like a year, and that pretty much got rid of it. So.
Before I let Eric go, I just want him to smile at you, and I want you to see how he smiles now. Can you see that? That's amazing.
Sure, come on.
When I sat in his Why Your Life Is the Way It Is talk at the it was the New Earth Expo in January that we went to in Burbank, and I just knew for some reason, I just felt his energy and resonated with the similar type of story, and I just felt something was here that I was going to learn. And in the past 6 months, I have erased the post-traumatic stress. I've erased 80% of the lingering pain, maybe 90% of the lingering pain in my body that was still left from the accident, the energy imprint of the accident. And having worked with Arnoux in the 7 Steps weekend, I erased some of that pain that day on the first day of the weekend, which allowed me to tolerate, like up to that point, I could only sit in a chair for 20 minutes at a time. And then I was in so much pain, I had to get up and leave the room. When I erased that, the first exercise we did, I was able to sit in the room for the rest of the talk and just take it in and not be completely distracted by the pain. So that, if that's all it did, that would be worth the price of admission to me. It was almost 20 negative beliefs that I had about money. And at your suggestion, I used the 7 steps to erase all of them. And after they were all gone, I wrote a book. And here it is. I wrote this book in 2 weeks after all of my negative beliefs were erased. This is testament, this is physical evidence of what can be accomplished once we use this tool to get our stuff out of the way. Not everybody's an author, but everybody has a masterpiece inside of them. The 7 steps is a tool that anyone can use. So
You're trying to create something in your life, but there's some programming inside of you stopping you. No matter how hard you try, 20 years of trying to write a book, you can't break through that wall with your willpower. But if you can erase the programming, boom, in 3 days it's done.
With the 7 steps, it's just, I've had clients erase their rape trauma, get rid of their drug addictions. I had this one guy he said he spent over $100,000 on therapy, and with a few weeks with me, he erased all his trauma. He wakes up happy now. And me personally, I was suicidal and depressed since I was 12, and that's why I took all these seminars, and nothing's worked. But because of Arnoux, I think he saved my life, because I don't think I'll be alive now, because I'll probably be, without the depression. But that's my testimonial, is I'm not depressed anymore.
Wow.
I got to clear a lot of stuff with my dad. Growing up, we had, my sisters and I had, a very controlling and verbally abusive dad. And going through all the 7 steps, really, it helped so much. I know that I had a lot of issues, and my sisters did too, that were just building up over time, and we were able to get through so much. Because before the weekend, we had a lot of issues with trying to communicate with him, and just a lot of things just weren't clicking. And afterwards, we cleared probably about 80% of the issues that we did have. And ever since then, like about every week or every 2 weeks, something new will present itself just between us in the relationship. And we're able to clear it like that with the 7 steps. And it's been really, really amazing, because it's not only us that are changing, my sisters and I, but we also notice changes in him. Like, he's becoming healthier as well, and he's changing his mindsets as well. And so it's been really quite an incredible process for us. So that was our big thing. So.
Well, your whole world is affected by your energy field. And when you clear things, people around you get impacted by that.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
This tool makes magic happen. Your life will change. I guarantee it. My life has changed. My life is so different from what it once was. It's unbelievable. I believe in miracles now. You know, anything's possible. And it's because of the 7 steps.
Thanks, Jonathan.
And this guy right here. He's pretty cool.
Knew that there was something that drove me nuts that I couldn't heal on my own. Now, I'm trained in 20 different healing methods. I used to be a professional healer. You'd think I could do something about what I couldn't get rid of. But it was the method that made the difference. I had excruciating pain on my skull where I landed and throughout most of my spine. And then there was all the emotional stuff that went through having been attacked. The physical pain was the thing that was so debilitating. So when I came in here in February, I didn't know how I was going to do it. But the thing I most wanted to be free of was what this experience of physical pain did to me. And at that point in my life, I had just had enough. I was done with this thing being in the way in my life. And so I just kind of mentally said, I trust him. I'm going to put it all at stake. And whatever happens in the exercise, I have people in this room who love me, care about me, and will take care of me. And just went for it when it was my turn. But there's something about this, you erase stuff. Like once you erase it, it really is gone. I got up out of that chair knowing something was different. I didn't know how different it would be. But I knew down in my bones, okay, we just moved a 70-ton boulder off of me. I woke up the next morning, I had no physical pain, and I also had no fear of the physical pain. And that was just like, no, that stuff's gone. And came back in and they were just like, man, you're like 6 inches above the floor. I mean, you're just elevated at this point. I was just so thrilled to be done with the dang thing. Like, it truly is a new life. I had lived for 40 years with the terror of that physical pain, and that was gone. And what it's been like now is I can be a normal person. Like, I'm a normal person in a non-damaged body with a brain that works, and I have a whole life experience that supports that. There's no longer this thing that I think about all the time. So the physical pain being gone, man, that was worth everything that it took. But to not think about that event anymore, I would not have believed you if you had told me that was possible. It's one thing to be physically pain-free. It's another thing not to be haunted by that kind of event anymore. It's just gone.
And I'm a minister and a spiritualist, and I have been for 35 years. And I have a coaching client, and I know there's a lot of coaches in the room, so I wanted to share this testimony about how easy doing the 7 steps to reprogram your life can make your coaching job. So I have a new client. She lives in New York. She's a Wilhelmina model. She was on America's Next Top Model. Beautiful, high-powered, high-strung young woman. Probably the craziest client I've ever had, truly. And the first session, I was just so overwhelmed because she's frenetic. But she had a past of horrific, extended, repeated abuse in her family from her mother, her father, and her brother. And so when I was working with her, she would always be in fight or flight, and she would always be activated, and she would always be like crying, screaming, cursing, and, like out of control. And I thought, talk therapy is not going to handle this. It's just not, right?
Right.
And so I did the 7 steps to reprogramming your life with her. And I'm working with her twice a week for 2 hours each session. And the next session, she gets on the phone and she said, "Are you a witch? You're a witch. What did you do to me?" She said, "I haven't been angry for 2 days. I've been calm. Everything's great. I went to my mother's house and she didn't trigger me." And she goes, I don't even know who I am anymore." So I've been working with her for 3 months only. And in 3 months' time, she's moved out, got her own apartment, broke up with a man that was very abusive to her, created a new boyfriend, got enrolled in Harvard, she just, in 3 months, she goes, what have you done? My life in 3 months is completely different.
What I did before Arnoux, I did everything. Okay, I tried alcohol to numb the anger. I read every book there was. I went to every seminar there was, from Tony Robbins to Jack Canfield to Michael Singer. I've done everything. I've gone to silent retreats. I can go on and on and on to the various tools and strategies I used, but I still woke up angry. I was so desperate to learn to deal with this anger and get forgiveness that I actually flew to South America to do ayahuasca because I had heard, that was my last ditch effort program. In the process of reprogramming, I was able to have this huge relief. And I can live a life now that I'm not so angry getting up and bitter, and the hope is there now, and I thank you for saving my life.
Okay, well, I'm a Reiki master teacher, NLP master, hypnotherapy master, Akashic Records,
Life coach.
Life coach. What do you do with the accessing the bars?
Access consciousness.
Yeah. I do that.
Matrix energetics.
Yeah, matrix energetics.
EFT tapping.
EFT tapping.
Sedona method.
Oh yeah, all of the above. Oh gosh, Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy, Arnoux's the best. Just forget about the other ones. Arnoux, seriously, okay. We met Arnoux a year ago in February, and we were desperate. What happened is we got ourselves into quite a financial pickle, and we were, maxed out on our credit card. And at the end, we didn't even have $25, you guys, to put on a credit card. Somehow in my gut, I knew that he knew something that I did not know, and I wanted to know what that was. Process that I had a huge issue regarding my mother, and this was connected to all this financial stuff. So at any rate, fast forward, we get home from the workshop. On Tuesday, we go to the post office. And we pick up this letter, and there's this letter that says we won this appeal that had been going on since 2012. We had given up totally. And we were going to get this money that we had been trying to fight for, that we were then told that we were never going to get. Well, Friday we got a check for almost $100,000. It totally bailed us out. We paid off all the credit cards.
I've been doing the 7 steps for quite a while now, and I used to be really depressed in my bed all the time, very suicidal.
Very credible, and will change your life. The 7 steps changes lives. I can say that I was able to overcome the blockages connected to the abduction, the blockages connected to predator and narcissistic attachment, because then you have Stockholm syndrome. And if anyone understands that, you love your captor. Part of what assisted me to move through and shift from the abduction, but also the parasitic relationships, and also being my own parasite. I encourage you to take this course. It also is one of the effective tools that assisted me in getting over the pain or the story that was in my fingers. And in that process, I was able to finish my first written book. So I published my first book this year. It is so effective. I'm very, very grateful because I get to see where my power is. That's what this does. Shows you how powerful you are. It is that voice inside that allows you to know that you're strong. So that right there, that's your ticket home.
By the time I met Arnoux, I said, Arnoux, I'm just going to kill myself this year because if nothing happens soon, I can't live with this pain anymore. So I came. First, I was really skeptical because I've done so many things. Like another thing, But it was either I kill myself or do the 7 steps. So I did the 7 steps, and those thoughts are gone for the first time. Like, I have inner peace, and I finally felt joy in my heart for the first time in my life. And
what he teaches and what he does is so powerful. And I can't tell you, besides my life changing in so many ways, of being a sugar addict, of not having that relationship with my brother, of hating my ex-husband. You guys wouldn't even want to be near me or stand next to me, because I was like this toxic flames coming out of my body. And I cleared that, and even ran into him the next morning after the first day of clearing it, and I had no feeling of anger anymore, and came back to class for my second day, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to help him. Like, I hated the guy. Like, and I lost my house, and my relationship with my daughter was strained, and so much occurred, and I lost me. And I ended up wanting to help this man, and I came back to class, everyone's like, what? And it was amazing.
Well, I took this class many years ago, maybe 6, 7 years. In the beginning, I had this issue with my parent, my dad. We had this, we just didn't get along. He was abusive, this and that. So using the 7 steps, I was able to come to terms with and develop a relationship with him. And it's through this program, this and that, that I was able to deal with him, all the issues, this and that. And I was saying to myself, okay, I know he's not going to be here too long. Do I have any issues unsolved? I thought about it, and I really don't.
7 step, just unbelievable. So as my sister said, I'm what I call an advanced voice biofeedback specialist. It's much more advanced than regular biofeedback. It's called biocommunication. So I listen to the sound of someone's voice, and I can actually pick up the emotional imprints that are holding them back. So this goes really hand in hand with this work. So I would spend, each session's an hour basically. And it might take me 2, sometimes 3 sessions. That's what I call the foundation for me when I do clients, to clear some limiting pattern they may have had their whole life. It'll permanently clear it. But then I suddenly thought, okay, why don't I add this into the mix, along with the biofeedback, the sound harmonics? Well, what would take maybe sometimes 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours, clear a lifelong thing, I was doing it in 30 minutes. I was like, is this really real? It would take me 3 hours, I did 30 minutes. And even 3 hours is pretty good to clear a lifelong thing, I thought it was good. But when I got to 30 minutes, I go, I had to clear my own disbelief that I actually cleared it.
My life has gotten so much better. I completed my MBA because of this course. I had confidence in myself. I had this thing about math, growing up when I was a kid, I was like a kindergarten, and then I did a math problem in a red crayon, and then the teacher got mad and then had me wait till the end of class to have lunch while everybody else go. And then that really prevented me from doing math. Now, because I'm Asian, I'm thinking I'm supposed to be good in math. But that's really not true. So when I went to grad school, and then the sad thing was I didn't complete my MBA on time because of accounting, financial accounting. But it took me about 4 to 5 years later, I'm at Arnoux doing this course, and doing the 5-day, working on math, and I finally got my degree.
That I just dealt with it and said, oh, that's okay, no big deal. But I realized it was a huge deal. And so one day I was driving home, and I couldn't breathe, I couldn't see. I felt like I could have easily had an accident, and clearing everything, and now everything is gone. Like, I can be in the household, the person doesn't affect me anymore. Like, I can be with him, and it's like totally fine.
She asked me, oh, by the way, how's your back? I'm like, oh wait, my back pain went away. Wow. So it was instantaneous. It was just
and then the miracles that have been happening has been incredible. So
it was like I had turned into Teflon, and I just watched all this stuff just slid off me.
So,
It was gone already.
yeah, like it literally was gone. So, I went home and I ate crap because I still didn't believe it, and it's still gone. I couldn't, like I had hopped on a cleanse and nutrition and everything prior, so I was like, why is this still here? You know, what's going on? So literally this tool, like in one day, overnight, it cleared all the symptoms. So it works.
Yay!
I tell you a lot of stories, and I've seen so many people change. Like, I've watched people that have been raped, who've seen murders, who have been beaten and prostituted by their parents. I mean, I've watched them and their children change in front of me, and it's amazing.
Like me, but like just a lighter, happier, more authentic version of me.
Yeah.
And I don't have to like worry about what people are saying. Like normally my heart might be beating right now, and I don't feel that at all.
Wow.
You could see like when things were shifting in my body. It was pretty profound. At least, but it was really powerful.
Magic. And then suddenly, as Cecilia and Karen told me, my shoulders, you go, oh my God, you're standing much taller. You look much younger. Your shoulders are back. You're standing straighter. Really? I didn't know that. And so maybe I was carrying the burden of this stuff on me. I didn't even know.
It was just, I didn't believe in myself, you know? And now I do believe in myself, and
It's really important to look at all four parts of you. You just never know where the root cause is. Testing to figure out where is it coming from. Find the root of your pain.
How many of us meditate on things that we're worried about? And you think, I don't have time. Well, I have time to think of all the things I don't want.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I have time to think about all the things I don't want. So what I'm doing is I'm thinking about the things that I would like, and anything that comes up contrary to that, I use all these different tools. I mean, think about it. And if a tool that I use, all of a sudden, the next minute I get a text, am I going to go, well, I don't believe that? Or I can say, wow, this is really great.
It's only clearing, right? And so what else? I cleared my fear of relationships and trusting my intuition. I did that earlier. And then I also cleared just like financial. I did my financial fear too.
And I've been involved with personal growth and self-development for over 40 years now. And I've literally trained with, the best of the best, the who's who in self-improvement. And I just, I've known Arnoux for about 10 years, and there's nobody that I've ever met that delivers more bang for the buck than this man right here.
Tina was up here, and she just immediately started crying, because when it leaves your body. And you can feel it leave your body, like that's what it was. And it was something that my mother and my grandmother said when I was in utero.
This course definitely already paid for itself for me. Oh yeah, the value is way more than what this course costs. Because, the venue thing happened. That's just one venue out of all the venues we played at, offering to pay us 3 times more than last year.
And I feel like I'm a different person, and my life has changed.
So Arlene, are you saying that you had a lot of emotional pain around your childhood and how you grew up? And that you released a lot of it in the last few days?
Yes.
And how much better do you feel now?
The pain in my shoulder is gone, which I've had for years. You showed me the way that I can do it, because I'm coming into my power.
Yeah.
Yes.
That there was just breakthrough in my vision. My vision was just flatlined for like the last 4 years of my life, and I had no vision. So I went home that weekend and thought about it. I knew there was a problem, because I said, Lord, what is it? And he showed me, but I didn't know how to get past it, really didn't. So in July, that just opened up the floodgates, and since that time, if some of you have been on the money phone calls each week, the doors open up for me for this next year for anywhere from $5.5 to $10 million in business.
It works.
And all my problems were because I felt anger, resentment towards my family after my mom passed away. There was a lot of blame on each other, and I haven't had my family together since my mom passed away back in 2005. It was like 14 years, and it just so happened to be that Thursday before we had the first day of our 7 steps, we all finally met up, and I was like, wow, is this really happening?
I have done so many courses, I can't even tell you how much money I've spent on them. And I've done masterminds that are, they're a year-long program. You meet once a week. It's just, and they're so expensive. They can range from $5,000 all the way up to $100,000 or more $1,000 a year. You cannot get anywhere else. I shouldn't say you can't get it anywhere else. I just haven't seen it in all of my, all the work that I've done with other people.
Everything outside is offering, they're charging you ridiculous amounts of money to learn. And what Arnoux is doing, just a fraction of it, not even, it's unbelievable, because what he's offering is your ability to fulfill your destiny, whatever it is.
What you've just witnessed are real results from real people from attending an Arnoux Goran original copyrighted seminar. To find out more about our unique training program, click on the link below.